Come on. What's happening? Man, I don't think I'll ever beat this game. Nah, I can never beat this game. This game is so tough. Why is it so tough though? Isn't the game supposed to be fun? Yeah, I failed at this game so many times. Like, I'll never beat this game. Yo, bro, all this talk about, plans, leveling up, and all that. It always feels like I have moments like this where, the game just keeps beating me. This is game, but my life seems similar. I feel like I need something more, up here. I feel like I'm losing the battle on my mental state. How do we level up and upgrade the way I think, so I can see the answers to my problems faster and crush my goals? That's a very good question, man. We can dive into a very good topic, which is about your mindset shift. Because, your computers have chips, they have hardware that are really powering, what they do. We have the Mac having the M1 and M2 chips now, but they also still have operating systems that get to be upgraded. They fix the bugs. They see some things that need to be, the skills need to increase. Your phone keeps getting higher updates, which means the skill of your phone is increasing. So as a human, the ability for you to upskill, it's the operation where you're now leveling up your operating system. But in this case, we're leveling up our mental operating system. So how does it work? It's really all about rewiring our thinking to accelerate personal growth and smash those goals. So first up, we need to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Like, what's the difference? Well, it's basically a fixed mindset is one where you have these abilities and you believe that they are set in stone. Sometimes you don't even think too much about how those abilities came to develop to where they are, but the awareness is stuck on the ability and telling yourself that you can't improve. Meanwhile, a growth mindset says, you know that you can develop and improve through effort and learning. So it's about believing that we can get better. That's basically what it is. So instead of just saying I can't do this, you switch to I can't do this yet. That is a very powerful switch. It's a very small change, but very impactful because it opens a world of possibilities. For instance, the first one just shuts down. Imagine this is programming. I can't do this means no. That's the end of that operation. So exit. Your mind won't think anymore. It's like, okay, yeah, I can't do this. That's the end of this operation. It's done. But when you say I can't do this yet, ... happens in your mind, and it's now like, okay. So you start to ask yourself mental questions. Do I want to do this in the future? And then the question comes into, when can I likely achieve this? Well, first of all, you start to say, how can I do this in the future, right? How can I achieve this goal in the future? And that leads down to a series of questions, because the minute you say, how can I do this? Your mind opens. The questions start to plot, and it's like, okay, maybe I need to learn how to do that. Maybe I need to learn how to do this. Even though you don't see the problem holistically, because you don't even know how to solve it, but what you know about it, you start to chart, you start to plan, and that first door you open leads to a series of possibilities of new doors that will give you more answers. This is how people solved billion-dollar problems and now sit on companies that their net worth is unspeakable because it's so large. They were able to solve problems that many people told themselves I can't achieve. So that's the first step. And next, we need to see challenges as opportunities, not obstacles. When you're able to leverage challenges, if you have that mindset, you understand that, for me to level up, I can't just be sitting on my couch and meditating. I do, like, how will I say? You're just meditating like a headless chicken. You don't have experiences or valid tested thought processes to really think about the challenges you're going through or how to overcome them, then you're not really leveling up. For you to level up, you have to seek challenges. You have to find opportunities for you to test the hypotheses and learn within those mistakes. So challenges obviously will give you opportunity to make mistakes because you fail. And even if you have a mentor, they won't be able to foresee everything regarding your personality and how you would, execute. So the whole point is challenges are supposed to be your friend. But the way we see them, sometimes, obviously, we allow it to beat us because some challenges will do that to you.
But challenges are hard, bro. It's just hard.
That was what I was just talking about. Yeah, because challenges are hard doesn't mean that we give up on them, bro. It just means even if they are hard, you can have a perspective that says they are good teachers. I'm not gonna say, oh, I welcome all bad challenges, but you still have to welcome challenges regardless. Don't label them, just say I welcome challenges, because regardless of if you win on the other side of this challenge or you lose on this side of this challenge, you learn. The minute you're able to set up your goal, your daily goals in a way where you learn, you're able to go pursue challenges, because your main goal is to learn, right? So at the end of the day, you understand that, oh, okay, yes, I was on the good side of this challenge today. It means maybe I've gotten so good at this, I need to level up to a new challenge, or there are other things for me to learn about this. But the point is, if you have a mindset that allows you to, seek the ability to learn from your challenges and your opportunities, that means that regardless of what's happening, you're going to be making progress. Because once you learn what's happening in level 1, you want to learn what's happening in level 2. Once you learn how to make $100,000, you've crushed that stage. You want to learn how to earn $1 million. You want to learn how to earn $1 billion. That learning, that curiosity mindset is the ability for you to go out and seek challenges. And I'll tell you something. I feel like people who run away from challenges end up with the bad hand of challenges. You're running away from it, so challenges choose you. You don't choose challenges. But when you have a mindset that sees challenges regardless of, their nature as bad or good, you just see them as challenges and opportunities for you to learn. You choose the challenges to embark on. Of course, you're going to get unforeseen challenges, which in its own self as it is a challenge. The ability for you to adapt to unforeseen, unplanned situations. But when you have that mindset, then quickly you welcome that challenge as just another challenge that was supposed to be in your path. That will be the second step in terms of what you need to do to level up your mental operating system. Once you change your mental operating system to see challenges as an opportunity instead of an obstacle, the next step is for you to, focus on your ability to see the world in an abundance. Run away from seeing the world as a scarce place, a place filled with scarce resources. So this is what we now call a scarcity mindset or an abundance mindset. What does that mean? Well, so a scarcity mindset just focuses on what you lack. It sees the cup half empty. And an abundance mindset sees opportunities everywhere. It believes that there is enough resources or success to go around. You see someone who is genuinely celebrating the wins of their friends or even strangers around them, achieving maybe goals that they aspire to achieve, but they see it as, oh, this is a good opportunity for me to even learn a little bit about what I would embark on the path to my own journey. So rather than running away, maybe I've seen this situation happen where someone will consume your content because they feel jealous or envious about your own success. And when they see your content, they just be like, oh, this person is annoying. It's just annoying to hear. But have you really looked inside you to understand why you feel that about that person? And sometimes we have different characters online, so I'm not gonna say it's because that person is doing what you want to do. No, not all the time. There are some cringe like content online, God forbid this is one of them. But the whole point is, if this person is doing something that you would ideally like, and somehow you find yourself not wanting to consume that person's content for some other reason. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying look within thyself. What is it that is giving me this vibe, this feeling that I'm running away from? Seeing this person win, seeing this person live the life that I want to live, for instance. And many of us are guilty of this. It's not even a thing of guilt, it's just a human nature. But the ability for you to be efficient, for you to have upskilled that part of yourself, means that you have leveled up your mental operating system. So now you're able to catch yourself when that's happening, because that in itself is maybe an instinctive thing about you. It could be a thing about your unconscious part, different aspects that I'm not even ready to go into, because I don't necessarily know all the biological mechanisms within that. Maybe we need to check a podcast where that has been broken down with more evidence. But I know it happens. People get envious and they see someone who maybe they were even helping earlier on, to grow. And then this person gets to a point where they never thought that person would succeed to. And all of a sudden, that energy changes. And you're like, oh, what did I do? Like, I don't remember saying anything or disrespecting this person, but all of a sudden this person feels somehow around me. This person isn't so happy for me or whatever. So I'm not saying you should worry about those things if it's happening to you, but if you're the one exhibiting those characters, look within thyself. Just understand yourself a little bit better. The whole game about a mental operating system is the ability for you to understand yourself, break those invincible chains as much as possible, because there are levels to it, but break as many of those chains, those bad habits, those thought processes that are negative, that has been used to lock you within a box, lock you within a circle and things like that. So the ability for you to really be your true self is the opportunity that is awaiting you on your level 99 of your mental operating system, depending on how you number that. But just focus on an abundance mindset, understanding that there is enough success around you, around the world, regardless of whatever it is. Is it money? Is it health? Is it houses? Is it opportunities? Whatever it may be. If by nature you tend to be pessimistic and you see that, okay, I see the cup half empty all the time, cool, it has a strength, that is an opportunity. You now start to see that, okay, this aspect of who I am has its strength. Maybe I'm able to see what others don't see. In an opportunity where it seems to be a bull trend, where everybody's running, jumping, I'm able to see the loopholes within that situation. How can I leverage that? So that's an opportunity. I'm not always saying go against your nature, but the opportunity for you to see that you have power. So even in an abundance mindset, you have the opportunity to see that, okay, there are unique people in the world. So for me, if I always see the cup half empty, right? I'm now aware that I see the cup half empty. So just the awareness allows you to see what other people are seeing. So now you see the cup half full as well. When you see the cup half full, you now have both views. You see a bigger, clearer picture. That is an opportunity for you. That has just given you a new game. You've unlocked something that many people don't see. And that will allow you catch trends faster than others. Because when everybody's stuck saying, oh, this market is never going to crash, the housing market is going, you will be the one to lock down the long shot. Go watch that movie. You understand? And you believe your game. You believe what you stake. We're happy about that. But it's a very important aspect that I feel we need more of in the world, having an abundance mindset. Then, extreme ownership. I think Joga was one talking about this. But yeah, go watch his episode on Stephen Bartlett's podcast, so Diary of a CEO. He, not necessarily him, but this is just a normal thing that successful people exhibit, which is taking extreme ownership. And extreme ownership just allows you to understand what you're able to control and take responsibilities for them. So when results happen, even if they don't go your way, you don't run away or shy away from them. You don't take a victim mentality and blame situations on someone else. We have this thing in Nigeria where we're saying, oh, the government, and true. That's why it's easy to blame them. We're not saying like you would just fabricate excuses from somewhere that doesn't exist. No. The point of dropping excuses and, disregarding responsibility, or I would say escaping it, is the fact that the excuse is so good for you to pass by. Sometimes it's so good for you to pass by that, like, if you say it out or you share it or you believe it, everybody around you will be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh yeah, I see why you didn't do that, or why that's not your fault. But responsibility is empowering. That doesn't empower you. That doesn't give you the opportunity for you to find opportunities to take control of the situation, especially in the future. And now you start to find yourself in the same cycle. Because if this is something that happens naturally, what can you really do about it if all you do is believe that you can't do anything about it? I mean, that makes sense. Kind of like owning, our mistakes, right? Exactly. So it's like owning our mistake, like you said, because I think I'm getting better at that. When you take responsibility for your actions, and your choices, you gain the power to change your life. And it's about asking, what can I do, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? I mean, from the name, what I understand is it's trying to say it's okay to not be perfect. But I don't think we consciously try to be perfect, do we? So another key shift is moving from perfectionism to progress. I know some of the videos I've spoken about earlier, I spoke about this, and I'll keep bringing this in everyone's ear, because I suffered this a lot before. I'm not saying melancholic people are not able to make progress by default, but when you tend to keep trying to make tiny improvements at a certain thing continuously, and you are aware of other things you're not doing and you're disregarding that because you want to perfect this, it comes to a point where you think you're making progress, but you're not. And that's where it comes to, perfectionism can paralyze you. So you have to have a system, have a realistic way of measuring what a finished project looks like, what a project looks like that you can stand behind and you're happy about, and just focus on making progress. So no matter how small, you have to remember that it's about the journey. It's not about this one thing. It's about the journey. So if it's one thing, I would say you're focusing on that thing as your destination. That means, oh, I've arrived. This one song, it is this song. This song, I will blow forever. Whopper Gangnam Style kind of vibe. So, but the point is, it's a journey. So you just have to believe, like, I'll keep making nice songs that are great. And in every song, you focus on making that song as best as you can. But you don't dwell on that for too long. You don't dwell on that. You focus on the next song. The next song. That was just an example. I'm not sure there are a lot of artists on this channel, but you get what I'm saying. You like games. Hey, I want results now. Like ASAP, please. What's the point of sacrificing all this money and time if I can't get results now? I see people making, waves with what they're doing. People are making waves, and like I'm seeing their success stories left, right, center. Yeah. Besides that, another shift is patience. We all know, like, the world is in a very fast-paced way right now, and it's actually gonna get faster, especially with the advancement of AI. But we as humans, we as higher level humans, we need to shift towards patience. You also need to shift towards long-term thinking. If you have those two equipped with you, the plans you're making now and the actions you're taking now, they won't create this overwhelming anxiety on the other side of it. Because I've noticed that when you don't have that deep-rooted patience and trust in yourself, in your plan, that's when you start to feel frustrated, you feel overwhelming anxiety, and even if you go down the wrong road, you're going to go get some antidepressants and things like that would only numb your emotions, but they're not necessarily fixing any problem. Those two go together. The understanding is just like, come on, I get it. I get that, yeah, you want that result now, but growth takes time. Even if you are playing a game, you can't get to level 100 at one time trying the game. It takes time. It's all about that consistent small actions, and you're celebrating your small wins. You're doing the right thing, you're doing your basics, and you keep leveling up in the game gradually. It just doesn't happen overnight. So except if you're speed running, like those guys that are always speed running in games, and even them that speed run in games, at the end of the day, they don't gain experience of the game. So that's fugazi, man. That's fake. We don't do that here, man. And lastly, we need to shift from harsh self-criticism to self-compassion. So be kinder to ourselves. Exactly. We just have to treat ourselves, with the same kindness we would show a friend, or even something that I think Jordan Peterson highlighted once in a book is treating yourself like your parent. So imagine you were your own kid. How would you parent yourself? Would you let your kid go to bed on time every night, or would you allow your kid stay up till 3 a.m. drinking alcohol? So yeah, treat yourself with the same kindness you treat your kid. I feel like that's even deeper than your friend, but obviously you can understand why we think the way we treat our friends. Many times you treat your friends with much more kindness than you would treat yourself for some reason. So it's not really about being soft, it's about creating a supportive internal environment for growth. I always wonder why we're so kind to our friends than ourselves. That is deep, bro, for sure, man. But how do we actually make this shift happen? That's a good question. So I would say the first steps to take is definitely a conscious effort and a practice mindset. You just have to believe that you'll be taking practice from now on. You understand? And the first thing, challenge your thoughts. So when you catch yourself going through those old patterns, challenge yourself to switch it up. Do what is hard at that moment. Let's say it's getting up early in the morning, but your old pattern is to hit the snooze button. Challenge yourself tomorrow to get up the bed. Don't hit the snooze button. That's a challenging opportunity for you. That's an opportunity for you to see what's on the other side. Treat your new routine as an experiment. Don't take it like, oh, it's hard. Just treat it as an experiment. I want to see how my body reacts. I want to see how my mind reacts, and I want to see how my day goes if I do it this way. And then surround yourself with people who embody these mindsets. So sometimes you start something new that the people around you are not into. It feels hard, you feel alone, they might even ridicule you, but if you believe that what you're doing is going to end up good for you ultimately, then start it. And you might feel alone at first, but keep doing it. And when you feel like you have a good solid background under you, you have some footings, then you can now start to share it or find those around you. It could be communities online, Discord groups, Telegram, Twitter. Follow mentors, but you now start to find those communities, those individuals, and eventually you might even start to reach out to them directly, share your stories, or be more vocal about it on your channels. The whole idea is it's either you find them or they find you, but either way you guys will find each other, and now your supportive circle will be much more stronger. So it might not happen at first, but believe that if you are good, if you go through this journey, you're gonna get there. And wouldn't you rather have a good grip of your new habits when you find your people than you are the one who is struggling? And I'm not saying don't use that, go and use that as a trap and say I want to be perfect before I go and find people. No, let people go through your journey with you, good, because they are also going through their own journey. So be open and don't be judgmental. Just believe that, okay, if this is my formula, I'm going to take some time to understand myself first. Cool, do that. And when it feels hard and you feel like at this stage I feel like I need to hear what others are going through on this journey, then you go out and reach out, and now you guys can support each other. And also I would say regularly reflecting on your progress and learning from your setbacks. So like we said, failure is an opportunity for you to learn, but for you to really learn from your mistakes, it means that you're rooted in reality. What this means is you have to be willing to put in the work. Don't just say, oh, I've learned that. Oh, yeah, cool. Move on to the next. People who really learn from their mistakes try to not make that mistake again. What that means is they bring down the maths out of it. What happened on so and so days? So when you going through a reflective session, it's either you've written down your journal, you've measured, you've tracked the days that you're able to go to the gym, for instance. You've tracked the days that you didn't go, and now you look back and say, oh, what happened on those days? Oh, I drank alcohol the day before, I slept late the day before, I did so and so, and that was why I didn't feel like going to the gym. Now you're starting to see your patterns and what are the strongest cues that are causing you to break your new momentum. That is you learning. That is you, like checking what caused your setback and understanding how to overcome them. That is an actual way of doing it. Because if you don't do that work, track yourself, track your progress, then you just don't realize at the end of 3 months that you had 20 days that you didn't go to the gym. You just feel, oh, I didn't used to go to the gym 3 months ago. Now I'm going to the gym. You feel good. You understand? So it's all about being rooted in reality and seeing that, the numbers show proof that I'm putting in the work. When you take this approach, you're almost taking an approach of a professional athlete. You see them, they don't play. If you really want to succeed on the highest level, you understand that you need to take it serious. You need to take your diet serious. You need to take your mental capacity, your edge, and your power seriously. And if you can take 10% from their game and implement it into your life, wow, you see immense positive growth in one direction, upward, bull trend. So that's just the whole mindset we're trying to adopt here. I would definitely say the final thing everyone definitely needs to improve upon, including myself, is practicing mindfulness, because this allows us to become more aware of our thought patterns. When we're practicing this continuously, we see ourselves repeat the same cycle. So earlier we spoke about, reflecting, tracking your progress. Mindfulness means the active process of doing it. So I'm not just referring to, when you sit down to meditate, because that's a good practice. But many times, many people fall into the trap of we meditate, then we stand up and we get lost in our thoughts and we're just going about our day. Practicing mindfulness means you meditate for 30 minutes, fine, beautiful. But when you go back to your desk, when you go back to your work or whatever, the minute those emotions start to ride you, those thought processes start to take you through that pattern, you're able to start being aware. You're able to start seeing it happen, and now you're practicing mindfulness. You're practicing those deep breaths within your work hours. You understand? That is the ability to practice mindfulness. And I've seen this happen on a good note where people start to see their patterns so much more vividly. Practicing mindfulness has so much benefit because sometimes you ask yourself so many questions like, how am I going to overcome this very hard old habit? How am I going to stop it? But I would say it hasn't gotten to that boiling point yet. It hasn't fed you up enough to feel like you're ready to take radical action. The process of practicing mindfulness allows you to see that pattern more and more and more. And I'll tell you, when you see the process, you see your habits, the cue, the work, the reward, right? And you see yourself after, you're like, oh, I feel shitty again. You see the process another day, it happens, you feel shitty. You see the process, you feel shitty. You see the process, you feel shitty. You are being aware of all these circles and you're seeing what's happening. It will get to that point. It will get to that point where you feel like, oh, damn, I don't like what's happening. I don't like this whole thing I'm doing. I need to change. I need to do something tomorrow. And that is the point where you would change. Many people will call this point your lowest low. When they say, oh, people only make changes when they've got into the bottom of the bottom. They feel like they can't go any lower, or they feel like their back is against the wall. That's what we're talking about. But you can induce this, because think about it. If someone is not aware of their pattern, let's say they're an alcoholic or a drug addict, they are not aware of it, that, oh, this thing is taking my life force, is dealing me heavy damage. Before you know it, they would actually be done. nothing left to give, and they were not aware. They just felt like, oh, this is good, this is good. But you who is practicing mindfulness, you're starting to be aware. I take alcohol, the next day I'm going down, my energy is low, 2 days is wasted. Third day I take alcohol, 2 days is wasted. How am I going to be able to achieve these big goals I have if I keep wasting 4 days in a week? The more you see that, you start to understand. The main problem is alcohol. I'm not saying quit alcohol. It might not be something that you need to quit, but it might be something you need to dial back down completely. It might be something you need to have more control over. And those are the situations that empower you. So, enough yapping about that. I'll just say, remember that upgrading your mental operating system is definitely a journey and not a destination. You have to be patient with yourself, be willing to celebrate those small wins, and keep pushing forward. Your future self? Thank you.
I'm definitely ready to level up my mind because that part seems to be missing a lot of juice right now. I need some help. So thanks for that. That was really helpful.
And that's the spirit, Let's go crush those goals with an upgraded mental operating system. As some Nigerian boys will say it, the mental OS.
Well, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. I know I did. I got 1 or 2 things from that. And I hope not to see you next week, which means you've achieved your goals. But if you happen to come here next week, you'll find me. So see you next week. Take care for now.
Hey, signing out, guys. See you guys next week.
I feel like I can play this game better now. I'm gonna get better.